Shalom, shalom. This your boy Yael Ezra Ben Levy coming at you again with another quick video. I want to ask you a question. It's about simple understanding and then the need to understand by interpreting the text properly. If God says, I will see you tomorrow, what do you think that means? Do you have to interpret that? Do you have to sit there and ponder what did he mean by that? Or do you simply understand based off what it simply states, I will see you tomorrow? Now, if a message come to you and it has dark sayings, meaning mystical and confusion sayings that are hard to understand, hard to comprehend, that will need proper interpretation. But if I tell you, come in here, close the door and sit next to me, do you have to interpret that? Or based off what I plainly stated, can you simply comprehend what is meant? Or do you need to go away, sit down in the top of the mountains and meditate on what I said so you can get a proper interpretation to what I said? Or was it just simple to understand? I want you to come in, close the door behind you, and sit next to me. That doesn't take interpretation. It takes simple understanding. Interpretation is when there are sayings that is hard to comprehend and you want further clarity on how is this actually being meant. To understand, like there's different forms of interpretation. Some forms of interpretations tell you you need to understand context, history, and culture. So if you have a gist of that when something is said and you want to get the proper understanding, you can look at the historical, contextual, and cultural understanding on what that text is actually saying. That is an interpretation. That is bringing forth clarity. But once again, if I say to you, come to me, close the door behind you, and sit next to me, do you have to interpret that? Or do you simply understand based off of what was spoken? Now, many people have problems with what the Bible say, because sometimes what it plainly states, it violates, it destroys that which they believe with all their heart. So now they have to interpret it, they have to twist it, they have to reinvent it in a way where it will line up with that which they believe. It's just like if Jehovah, the Holy One of Israel, plainly states that there is no God, he knows not none. Is that him saying that there are gods around him? But he said that he knows not none. There's none besides him. There's none with him. That's not him saying there are other gods around him and I need to interpret. He does mean there's someone with him. If he plainly tells you there's none, he knows not none. That is you trying to interpret what he is saying to make it line up with that which you believe. But if you go by plainly what he states, there is no gods with him. There is no God with him. He is it. Now, you can have foreign gods, strange gods, idol gods that you invented with your imagination or that you gravitated to the gods of the nations around you, but they're not real. So when Jehovah said there is no gods, he know not any, he's speaking reality. There is no deities besides him, on his level, lesser than him, except the deities of our imagination. If Jehovah said, I will share my glory with no one. What did that mean to you? Did that mean, well, I got to interpret it to include Jesus? I got to interpret it to include Yahabashai, because he said in the Gospel of John, in his prayer, he wants that glory back that he shared with the Father from the beginning. That is a complete violation of what Jehovah plainly stated. He shares his glory with no one. So how can Yeshua want to share in the glory again that he had in the beginning? The Father never included him, but he said he will not share his glory with no one. But was he mad at the Son that day when he spoke that? Or he didn't know he was sharing it with him? Come on. Let the text say what it says. And when we see that the text needs interpretation, we have to interpret it properly. We can't use our faith, our personal belief system, to interpret text when it has a culture, a history, and context. We have to understand it from that period. That's my opinion. That's all I wanted to share at this time. I know people will agree, but that's fine. I just wanted to share my point of view. If you have any comments, I would like to see them. Anyway, this is your brother Yael Ezra Ben Levy. Till next time. Peace.